Hi, can everyone just hear me? Can you guys hear me in the back? Do I need this? Okay. I'll just go ahead. I'm Lussier. I'm a senior here at HPU. I've been here 1 full year. Second and junior representative last year. I'm speaking today for fun. So pretty active at HPU. I joined this organization because I felt empowered and wanted to make a change here at HPU. And I'm coming here to ask you guys to hopefully consider joining the initiative, per se, about changing our student newspaper to actually make it a student newspaper. I've had a lot of talks with this. Really know a lot of the students that work for the student newspaper, and the system is kind of broken at the administration level. So I know a lot of the students that write for it, and they're great people. But what the problem is that the administration won't allow anything negative to go in the student newspaper. And so I think the biggest thing that HPU can do this year is to help change that, and talk to college administration, talk to Dean Fiesta, President Chatty Wright, and really advocate and allow us to have a student newspaper where students are free to opine. Because right now the policy is that no student can write anything negative. And so if you go to our website, it says the Kalama is the university student newspaper that allows students to have their voice heard. You would assume if that's the definition of a student newspaper for our newspaper, you would assume that students would be able to write negative pieces, criticizing college administration, but unfortunately that's not the case. And we actually brought Dr. Larry Ledoux, who's the the advisor for the student newspaper, in here last fall, and he said, well, that's how the system is, unfortunately, that college administration doesn't allow him or the students to write anything negative. I think that we should demand a journalistic style student newspaper, which the journalistic principles, according to the Canon Code of Journalism and the Society of Professional Journalistic Codes, means that newspapers are free and responsible, accurate and fair, independent and tolerant, and respect human rights, and then to be decent and moderate. And I don't think our student newspaper is free or independent at all. As we've discussed, if it's censored by the college administration, students can't write. And when I talked with a student, they said, Larry, the advisor, decides what articles goes in. All you have to do is write an article, bring it in, have them look it over. Since we're university sponsored, we don't print anything criticizing the university. So the student writer actually said that, and as I said, Dr. Luke did it as well. I have experience, I was the president of my student government at my community college before I came out here, where we had a student newspaper that by state law could not be censored by the administration. And unfortunately, I saw the brunt of what a student newspaper can do. Because if we did anything, they would be in here writing, they'd be writing editorials criticizing. So we think this organization has it hard, being, fighting for the students out there, and them not listening. Well, when you have a student newspaper that's saying that you do everything wrong, and you're trying to do your best, it's tough. But I think it's the best policy for the college in general. And so I think until the college trusts us as student leaders here at student government, and student writers in the student newspaper, we won't get a lot done. And unfortunately, I would say the mechanism is broken for real change. So, an advisor is supposed to stop students from writing libel, which is against the law. You can't swear at someone or call someone bad names, but that is all they should do. And Mary Tespias, the Dean of Students, has communicated with us, a group of myself last year when we met with her, and she said, hey, if you guys want to make change, start your own newspaper. But of course, we don't have $50,000 to print out 8,000 copies every edition. So we're not going to start our own student newspaper, and people have tried in the past. It just isn't going to work. So I say that we should advocate for change within the Kalama, within the student newspaper. If you also look at what is written in here, I actually did if you guys look, the last 2 editions, the majority is not actually student writers. The majority is actually contributions from staff from our website. There's a breakdown here. The majority of the newspaper is actually Kalama staff is what they write there, but it's press releases from the website. So the stories look familiar, because a lot of them are from the website, unfortunately. So out of this last paper, there's only 5 out of 21 stories that are written by students. In the opinion section, as you can see clearly, is from online think tank and magazines, Green Institute magazine. So it's not student run. It is student run, but it's not student opinions. often staff writers. The president chapter writes his own section, so do a lot of other staff members. So we really need a student newspaper that obviously advocates for students, and students are actually writing for them. And so the better we do that, yeah. So, last week I met with the Vice President of Enrollment Management, and he said, well, a student newspaper is never intended to be that. And I was kind of amazed by that, but that's what it is. It's there to help students get their articles in and understand how it works, but it's not a journalistic-based newspaper, and I think that's what we need to change. I just have a few questions, and then I'll let you guys do back to your business. Hopefully I'm not more than 5 minutes. I might be at 5 minutes right now, but I don't know if you guys heard the latest news. The news these last couple of years, a lot of you guys are new, but there's a cheerleader that killed themselves this past summer. Did anyone read about that in our newspaper? I mean, there was an attack last fall on a teacher, an MP, by a homeless person. Did anyone read about that in the student newspaper? No. There was a student athlete dealing drugs last year or 2 years ago. Nobody read about that. There's a moped that killed a student a couple years ago. Nobody read about that. There's a lot of issues going on in HPU that aren't covered. And we as students, we're trying to fight for students. You guys are trying to do a great job. I believe in what you guys are doing. But the newspaper should be your allies. It should be hand in hand. And unfortunately, nobody's out there advocating for this. No one's asking about the quality of teachers. What about tool safety? What about tuition costs? So nobody's asking these questions. And until we have a student newspaper that will actually advocate for those things, because it's not censoring, a lot of what we do here isn't going to go anywhere. And it's a lot of face value. So my last point is I talked to the advisor at Chaminade, which is a school that's relatively close to ours, and they said that their advisor only advises. And they only the students say what goes in the newspapers. So the Chaminade, they actually have a system like what it should be, like at my community college, like at public schools. And even at UH Manoa, the Kaleo is how they only allow students as well. No advisor, no faculty has any say about what goes in. They don't have any faculty writing it. So I'll close with the meaning of Kalama Lama is the bright light. But I say that this light is pretty dim. So I hope you guys can join with me and really talk to everyone you know. Every chance you get to talk to the deans, department heads, and say, look, hey, what about a student newspaper that's actually journalistic based and fights for students? So thank you for listening, and hopefully it can work together.